Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 cast by GLiTCH. Oh my god, you guys, can you guys believe this? I am back after a year of being in Korea and I am now back in the States. I'm back in the States, you guys, so I thought I'd come back to my YouTube channel because why the hell not? I spent a long time teaching English in South Korea for a full year, still considering going back. But for now, as long as I'm in the States, I figured I'd get back to my YouTube channel and get back to casting. And to start, I thought I'd open up with one of my own games I just played last night. I've been laddering a lot. I laddered a lot while I was in Korea on the Korean server, and now I've been laddering a lot once I am back here on the North American server. If any of you are wondering, I am almost back to Masters. I was in Masters when I first got back to North America, and then I stopped playing for about a month while I did a little bit of traveling, a little bit of touring around, so I didn't get to do so much playing, and I kind of lost a little bit of my mechanics in that month and a half. So now I'm kind of back, and I'm high diamond right now, trying to crack it back into Masters. So it shouldn't be too long, and hopefully I'll be back in Masters within the week. And I'll be casting some of my games along the way. So this game was played against, I believe he was a diamond player. So let's introduce the players here. Spawning in the top right position of Derelict Watcher as the red Zerg, we have me. We have GLiTCH. And spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Protoss, my opponent for today, we have dosa. Dosa is a Protoss player here who's going to be doing something a little bit, something that we're starting to see a little bit more commonly now. But we'll get into that once that actually happens. For now, I'm going to be opening up with a very, very standard, I believe it was a 15 pool here. Every now and then I will push it to be a little bit earlier if I feel it's necessary. 14 or 15 pool is pretty standard nowadays in this matchup. Always want to be checking for those cannon rushes. I almost always now push it to 15 pool just because I will occasionally 15 hatch if I see that he is staying in his base. A lot of Protoss players these days are opening up with a gateway in the main as opposed to here at the natural expansion. So it's really, really common that if you start with pool, it's so common that if you start with pool these days, then a lot of times you're actually going to be a little bit behind, or you could be a little bit farther ahead. By being a little bit greedy and taking this hatchery first, if you see that he's not going for forge, is perfectly fine, and it's a lot better for stopping any kind of 4 gates and things, which actually do come up every now and then on ladder. So we can see that dosa is going to be opening up here fairly normally, opening up with that Forge and Nexus and the gateway coming down immediately after. And I have scouted all of that. I am going to be sending a drone around just to be absolutely sure that he is not going to be putting any pylons around in the back of my base. And I do see that his probe is still just hanging out there on the ramp. And I have a set of Zerglings on the way to start to deal with that, and they are going to be chasing that probe down. This is super important to do. It is, in the early game, if you can find a Protoss's probe and chase it back, like, this forces him to have to go back to his base, right? He cannot possibly do any kinds of shenanigans after this. Once you see his probe, really, really important. Always keep at least one ling going there on that probe, just so that he is forced. He must return to the base. He can't put down any pylons, and so that is just going to make you feel oh so safe here. So if you ever get that chance to get that probe to run back to the base, absolutely do it. Now I am going to be taking a fast third here, right behind this, and I believe I'm going to be bringing these Zerglings back to try to make sure that there are no pylons or any cannons going up around that third. In the meantime, I do have one queen coming up. Second queen should be on the way here very shortly. And we're just trying to get up to saturation on both of these bases. Going to be taking a couple of gas here around the 6-minute mark. Around the 6-minute mark, I've been taking 2 gas. This is something that I've kind of been toying with recently. It's pretty important to get a fairly early Zergling speed these days, as there's a lot of early pressure that's coming out because of, where is it? I don't think we have it on the field yet, but the Mothership Core. The Mothership Core is huge now for Protoss in terms of holding off a lot of early aggression, and also applying some pressure back on your opponent. And this is why a lot of players are now opening up with a gateway in the main and then going into the Nexus right away, and then the Cybernetics Core, because you can hold off a lot of early Zergling pressure and things just by chrono boosting out that Mothership Core. That Mothership Core makes so fast, 30 seconds, makes really, really fast, and it looks like we definitely finally do have one there on the way. And by keeping these Zerglings out in front of his natural expansion, I am going to be able to track down that probe right away. So now, once again, he's coming out to try to scout this third, but once again, I'm just going to track it down, because this way, I'm, again, completely safe to keep droning. I can now keep droning as much as I want, because I now see his probe that's coming out. It's possible that he's sending out a second probe, but it's fairly safe to assume that there aren't going to be too many shenanigans now that I have taken that probe out. And so, looks like I am going to be supply blocked here a little bit, but 2 gas do come down around the 6-minute mark, and I'm now going to be throwing down the Roach Warren and the Evolution Chamber at about 6:30. Now we can see that Dosa is going to be moving out here with a little bit of an early attack here. He's moving out with 2 Zealots, a Stalker, and the Mothership Core. This is that kind of early pressure that I was talking about. They can now kind of come at you a little bit earlier, try to force some Zerglings early on, try to get a few drone kills, maybe even pick off a Queen, and this attack is actually going to end up working out pretty well here for Dosa because I did not see this attack coming at all. I made a huge mistake of leaving those 2 links here, didn't go back to the front of his base, so I was completely blindsided by this, didn't see this coming at all. Finally, these units get to my front door, and I said, oh my god, I just made a giant round of drones. I have 9 drones currently on the way, so right now, I'm going to try to micro this Queen back as much as I can, but I'm more focused on trying to keep up with my injects, pulling my Queens, both Queens down to come try to deal with this here, but I'm taking a lot of damage on this Queen. I'm trying to run it down as much as possible, trying to focus down that Mothership Core as quick as I can. These Zealots just deal so much damage right now. I am throwing down a Spine inside the terminal line. The 3rd Queen does arrive, but the 2nd Queen has now gone down, and now the 3rd Queen is down as well, so pretty good for him. But I have bought enough time. I am producing a lot of Zerglings right now. 22 Zerglings on the way right now, and this Spine is getting close. So this actually ends up dealing a huge amount of damage here. As you can see, these Zerglings are going to come out, but this Spine, almost on its own, would have been able to deal with most of these units here. So I way overmade Zerglings here, and these are all Zerglings that could have been drones. So this could have been another, oh my god, there's even more here. So this could have been another 7 or 8 drones right there. So this is a huge loss for me. I had to bake this Spine, I lost all 3 of my Queens, and I made a ton of Zerglings. But now I'm just going to be going right back into it. It's really, really important not to overreact in these kind of scenarios. A lot of people will see all this pressure coming, and they'll get all worked up, and they'll just completely forget about everything they're doing, but I'm going right back into doing everything that I would have wanted to do anyway. Still getting my lair, still getting my +1 attack coming down right now, and just going right back to injecting and trying to get as many drones up as I can. Now I'm moving out with these Zerglings to try to see what he's doing, because I want to know what did he buy with that attack. He moved out and attacked me. Is he building up a big army behind this? Is he going to try to just deal a little bit of damage and then come at me with a bigger army? Or is he taking a 3rd? In this case, as we are about to see, these Zerglings are going to come out here, and I'm just going to poke right up into this 3rd and see, did he take a 3rd behind this? Is that what he went for? And yes, I can see immediately that yes, he just started mining. Poked in here. I saw that there weren't a lot of probes here, so he hasn't been mining on here too long. But as we can see in his base, he doesn't really have all that much. He has 2 gateways, he's got a cybernetics core, he's got a forge, and that is about all he's got going for him. He's got a robo on the way as well over here, a few more gateways going down over here that I did scout, and I did scout the Stargate as well. So I'm a little bit apprehensive about what he's doing, but there's not a whole lot I can do. At this point, I'm just going to try to be a little bit greedy, try to recover my drone count. As we can see, the drone count is currently sitting around 66 probes to 58 drones, so he's ahead of me quite a good bit in his economy. But he hasn't transferred a whole lot of probes to this base. I think he's a little bit oversaturated, yeah, in the natural expansion there, so a few too many probes there. So he's not gaining too much of an economic lead from having, oh my god, a ton in the main too. So he's not gaining too much of an economic lead by having all of these extra harvesters, and I am now coming up to around 70 harvesters. Because I saw that, 3rd going down, I decided, you know what, I can be a little bit greedy here. I don't need to build any units, just going to get up 2nd Evolution Chamber, Hydralisk Den now coming up as well. And I'm now just going to saturate all these gas geysers. Now, this is a big mistake here by me. I misclicked, and these Zerglings, or these drones are not mining on this gas. A little bit of a problem there, but I am maxing right now. Right now, I've decided that, you know what, he went for that really, really fast 3rd. Let's see if we can't get in there and deal some damage here, because I'm now a little bit behind. Taking my 4th immediately, right away, as I macro up an army. So I'm trying to get as many units out on the field as I can. As we can see, I'm currently up 122 supply to the 112 of his supply. But getting my Hydralisk upgrades, getting up my upgrades, I think, yeah, there we go, the +2 coming down right away for the missile attacks, and I'm waiting on this Roach speed to finish as well. So now I'm going to be moving across the map, got a lot of Roaches on the way, a lot of Hydras on the way, and I'm going to try to do some damage before he can take advantage of this 3rd base econ. First thing I'm going to do, I believe, is I'm going to poke down here to make sure that he's not taking any fourth bases, because I definitely do not want to let any fourth bases go down. And as you can see, the Zerglings are going to be coming down here into that fourth base. And now we can see one thing he's doing here. He's getting Blink, he's getting Colossi, and he's getting Templar all at once. And this is actually a huge mistake here by Dosa. This is actually extremely greedy because he's going for so much tech. This means that he's going to have a lot of tech up that's going to help him later. He's not going to have army for right now. Really, this is all he's got in terms of his army. If we check out the unit counting station right now, we can see that he really doesn't have that much. 5 Zealots and Immortals, some Stalkers. He's got a couple of Void Rays just now poking out, but I'm going to poke in here, and I'm going to see that there's really not a whole lot here. He's only got 1 Immortal, and he's got a couple 3 Void Rays out here that I'm just going to run in here, pick off all of those units right away because he doesn't have a whole lot of naval units to back this up, so I'm just going to come in here and start to rally in as many units as I can. More Hydralisks on the way. Units coming in from all sides. He does have the High Templar up, and they don't have Storm researched yet, so they can't even do anything quite yet. The first Colossus does not pop out on the field, so I do start to chase that down. I'm going to be chasing that down all the way back to the base, because that is one thing that I do have to be really, really worried about with this competition. My Hydras are doing a lot of damage, but those Colossi are ones that can shut down Hydras quite well. Now I just come in here and realize that he has been so greedy that I can actually get in and take this third. In the meantime, I am going to be getting this base up and running, getting some defenses around it as well, and just continuing my tech. Looks like I haven't started any more upgrades yet, but I am just pumping out mad amounts of units, trying to get up as many units as I possibly can, because I am coming in here and realizing that he's way, way greedy. Look at this. Robotics Bay went down as well as the Archives. He can't afford to get that much stuff. Really, really greedy play by him. And now this third base is going to go down. Looks like these units for me right now are currently 1-1 in upgrades, about to be 2-1 in upgrades, and I think his upgrades, yeah, he only has a +1. Oh, he actually has +1, +1, +1, all researched off of 1 forge. Is that really the case? Yeah, I guess he just kept upgrading 1 upgrade at a time off of that forge. So now you can notice that I am starting to save up a bit of a bank here. My money did start to climb a little bit high because of those queens earlier that I lost, but now I'm just up max, so I'm just going to start poking his base, and he was just going to GG right out of that game because he was just a little bit too greedy there. Did some damage early on, but not the kind of damage where he can be that greedy. So that's it, guys. That's going to be this game. I'm going to be playing a lot of ladder games nowadays. I am also going to be looking into games to cast pro replays, that is. But these days, I've noticed that pros have kind of stopped uploading a whole lot of replays. I was trying to look online, trying to find replay packs and things, and there's not a whole lot of people that are uploading replays these days, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that, but I am going to be laddering a lot, so I'm going to be casting a lot of my own games. I'm hoping to do some tutorial series as well, so definitely tune in for that. Definitely check me out at twitter.com/GLiTCHStarCraft. There is where I announce every time I go live, because I'm doing a lot of streaming these days. And also, if you follow me at facebook.com/GLiTCHStarCraft, you can also see there all of my updates and things there. Hoping to update this channel with a whole lot more videos here coming up in the following days. So thanks so much for watching, guys. GLiTCH out.